Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Knowledge King, and this is your friend Wasim, and today we are going to see our first example of React application. So how do we start, how do we create an application, how do we serve it, how do we build it? We are going to see all of this into this video, but this is going to be an interesting first step on creating a React application. We are going to see some dummy application and how to create that. To start a React application, we have to know how to install it. So we have seen all the installation steps and everything from setting up the application to getting the node installed and everything. If you want to know more about it, just click on the link above, see the video, and then come back on this video. I would recommend that. And also just visit our previous videos where I have explained all the concepts of how virtual DOM is, what is components, what is lifecycle architecture and everything. And all of those videos are definitely going to help you understand all these applications that we are going to create in the upcoming videos. So before we proceed, I would like you to subscribe our channel, click on the bell icon, and so that you can view all our upcoming and interesting videos, and please give us a thumbs up if you like this video. So let's move ahead and start creating a first application. So let's see what exactly we are gonna create in the future. This is somewhat we are going to create in our upcoming videos. We'll try to create something similar to this application. So this is one of a full-fledged application. We have already seen this. If you just click on something, it goes to the completed side. You can just move up, move down. You can just sort it alphabetically. So all these things, it's a full-fledged application. We need a full-fledged application. We have to create a full-fledged application. So we are gonna learn this full-fledged application into our upcoming videos. So without wasting any time, let's write our first command. So I'm just opening my simple examples folder in which we usually create our examples. So I'll just right here go to like command prompt. I'll just open a command prompt and I'll create React app. So this command will help you to create a React application. It will just give you a boilerplate with a sample application. So let's say that I'll just create a hello world application, which is like easier way, the base example which anybody will create in any kind of technology. So this will basically create React app. What is create React app? We have already seen this in our previous video. You might see a thumbnail over here which will just help you out to understand which video to watch for this create React application and what is the boilerplate. We have explained all these things in our setup video. And this will just basically what it will do, it will just try to create a sample boilerplate, as I said, and this will install all the packages that are predefined into that particular package.json, and it will just copy them into your local folder. So we created like a hello world example, and if you see here on the screen, it is creating a hello world folder there. And if you just open it, it has a package.json, and because of that package.json, it is installing all these packages here. See, a node model folder is created and it is just installing it. So without wasting any time, I'll just switch directly to where it is absolutely installed. And voila, yes, we have installed all the packages and everything is done. And if you see all of these folders over here, it has like a Git folder which is usually hidden. This is the node modules. If you just open it, you're gonna see all the folders and packages and all the repositories, everything it would be here. There are multiple directories which are having like different plugins that usually React will require internally. Some would be important, some would not be important. So we are gonna see how it just distinguishes, but not now. So how this node modules folder is created? Because of this package.json and package.lock.json. So these files usually help just downloading all the packages. So we usually call it as packages. Then we have a public folder. If you just open the public folder, it will have like index.html, some default images or something, a default favicon icon, and we are gonna see what are these. Then we have the most important folder in which we are going to create the whole application. So all the files that you're going to create, all the CSS, HTMLs, images, everything that you're going to write, that will usually go under this src folder. If you just open it, it has a flat layout right now. but we are going to create our own folder structure, our own hierarchical structure here. And let's see, some of the files are over here. The most two important files in this whole folder is index.js and app.js. You have to remember this. What is this index.js? What is this app.js? We are gonna see right now. Let me do one thing. Let me just right click this, show more options, and open with code, so that it usually opens it with my Visual Studio Code. If you see this, the whole folder structure, everything is open. You're not going to see the Git folder here because that is hidden still, so Visual Studio Code ignores it. We have all the public files, so you can delete all these public files except the index.html. That is okay, you don't need anything else. We have the SRCs. These all folders are important. Most of the people, if you're seeing some other videos, they usually delete this SRC folder and create it again. I usually will not recommend it because these have like app.css, index.css. So these are some default CSS which are given to you ready-made. Try to utilize now. Whatever it is given to you, you can utilize them. So it's always a good habit to utilize them. So you have like a global level CSS. If you want to write in your application, you can write it in your index.css. That's a good habit. So we have, as I said, that we have like two most important files, that is index.js and app.js. What are these? We'll see right now. Let me just, all the other files are like git ignore. You can add just all the file names that you want to ignore to be pushed to the git repository. So this is something which is that. You have package.json and the readme. So readme you should always keep updated. If you just open it, this is the default readme that is available with all the commands and their basic explanations. So what does that particular command do? So it will just give you a simple explanation of all that. But you can, if you're creating your own project, then you should write your own readme. That's what I would do. Then let's quickly run and see how does it exactly look. So usually what people do, they run in the VS Code terminal. I have a different habit. I usually run it in my command prompt. So the first command that we have is npm start. If you want, I can see it in the Windows terminal. That is control and backtick, which will just open the terminal in your own window. So the first command is npm start. If you write this command, it will just do something, compile it and open it in your default browser. Right now my Chrome is my default browser, so it usually opens it in Chrome. Whatever default browser, Internet Explorer or whatever you have, it will just open it there. I don't recommend writing the React applications into IE. That is a bad habit. You should try going to most like an upgraded browsers. So you have Edge, you have Chrome, then you have Firefox. So use Safari and all this. Use the latest browsers. That is very good. And see, this is the first page that you are going to see whenever you run your application. It runs on your local host, so it's a default local server that React have created for you. It runs on the port 3000. You can change this port. We are gonna see it later, but not in this video. But we can change this port as well. Yes, you can do that. And now here it says edit src/app.js and save to reload. So it will, whenever you start writing your code, it will automatically update and reload your page. Okay, we are going to see this. This is very interesting, very important. And you see the default title. This whole thing is in your index.html. We are not going to touch that right now. But yes, so I'll just quickly do one thing. I will show you where exactly our program starts. So whenever you start a basic React application, the first usually file that is loaded is index.js. After index.html is loaded, your first application that usually runs is your index.js. Let me just close the sidebar so that it enhances the whole thing. We have the first line, that is import React.js, import React from React. So React is our default library or default plugin, right? Default library. React is a library, default library that you have to import and start your application. React DOM is an additional library provided by React. So this is an additional library. It helps you to render the React application, okay, into some specific components. Then we have our default index.css. If you want to write some default CSS or global level CSS, you can write it over here. You can just, or if you don't want it, you can just remove it. That's okay. This is our first component. So as I said in my previous videos, app component is a default component. A component, we have seen this, a component's definition can vary from one feature to another. So it can be a feature level component where you can just put the whole feature into one, or even it can be so small as a small text on your browser. So you can create a component, it has a very vast definition. You can start from writing a small text as a component to a whole feature into one. So it varies. So this is our first component. We are going to see, we are going to create this component, okay, or we are going to modify this component and see how. This is some other imports that is not required. You can remove this, but for now we are just going to keep it. We are not going to touch anything else. And here we have React strict mode. This is important because strict mode, if you read JavaScript strict mode, React does something a similar kind of a way, which basically just a simple example is you cannot use the variable without declaring it. So this is something which is a strict mode. So there are a lot of benefits from writing a strict mode where you can write a better code. So that is most important feature of this, that you can write a better code using strict mode. And under this strict mode you have app. So as I said, React DOM.render, so it has two parameters. It's a function call. To show you something like this, I'll just remove the spaces so that it would be easy for you to understand what exactly it is doing. Let me just remove the spaces and okay. So if you see over here, so React DOM.render is a method call. What we are doing, we are asking React to render the first parameter into the second parameter. So our first parameter is our component. So what component do you want to render? What exactly you want to render? And then in the second parameter, where you want to render it. So it's a JavaScript straight simple line, document.getElementById. If you open your index.html, you can see the body tag have only a simple one tag, div id equal to root. So what this whole thing is doing is it's asking, it's searching for a tag into body which has an id equal to root, that is div, and whenever you get this div, it is asking the React DOM to render your whole application there. Okay, it's as simple and as interesting as that. So what component we are loading? We are loading a default component, that is our app component. So this would be our first component which will help to render all the other components. So usually we behave like that. You can change this component, you can add your own, nothing to worry. You can write your own component here as well. So but we are going to, as in most of the libraries, app component is a default component. We are going to keep app component, the name app itself. So it's easier for us to understand any other library. We are not going to change this. Let it be as it is. And let's jump to our first component, that is app.js. So how do I open this into VS Editor? Control E, or in your basically Mac, it's Command E. It will just open this for you and just type app.js. It will find it for you. And here you have so many things, but Control A, delete. We don't need this. And to show you something like this, see, if I'm just rendering it side by side, if I save this, oops, I did something wrong. I just need to click here. If I save my file, right side, see, both my hands are here. It will just compile and it will re-render. Oh, my bad. I closed my terminal. Let me just open it in my command prompt so that I don't block my view of my code. Let me quickly just open, and interesting thing, another shortcut. So from VS Code you can open your default terminal as Control Shift and C or Command Shift and C, and you can, it will just open the terminal at your default folder. So now Hello World is my default project, so it is opening it in that project. npm start will start my server. We have seen this command before and we are going to run it again. If you see, it's just opening it in some other folder, right? I'll just minimize this, and now we are going to, it's some error. Let's ignore this. We are going to write our first component. So how to write our first component? There are 3 ways to write a component. The most easiest way, export, import, export. We have seen this in a previous video. What is import, what is export? But whenever you are importing something, it has to be exported. A short definition. Export, default, function, app, the name of the function, because you're importing the name here, right? The name, round brackets, curly braces, and your component is created. But there is a thumb rule. Each component should return something, return a JSX. JSX is JavaScript, XML. So that means your HTML, you can just return it. A form of HTML you can return here. So I'll just say hello world, save, and you can see some compilation going on. And let me just quickly refresh this so that it loads the default browser. And whenever I write something, I save it, both my hands up, and it refreshes. So React applications are default re-rendered, you can say. Okay, it is refreshed by my browser. Whenever something you change in the code, whenever I do some change in the code, refresh it. Oops, I replaced something while looking at it. Okay, I just remove some values, I remove something, I added, modified some code, just save it. It will recompile and reload for you. You don't have to continuously keep refreshing your page every time. This whole React application or this whole framework will do it for you. Okay, the boilerplate will do it for you. It has some default plugins which will help you re-render this whole thing. We are going to see what are these plugins later. Okay, let's not get confused now. I don't want to just throw a lot of information at you right in the first video, but let's understand the basic concepts of this, what exactly we are doing. Let me just open the page and we will see again what exactly we are doing here. So we are importing an app, okay, that is this app. Whenever you are creating a component, you can write it as a tag, and that tag, basically see this tag, and this tag will help you to render that particular component. Whatever JSX you are writing here, whatever code that I am writing here, it will just take it and it will render it in this place. So easy to understand. I can write this 100 times. If I save it, you can see the hello would be rendered that many times. See, it compiled and it refreshed. It's that easy. So it's not, we write usually the components for its reusability. And here I have written the hello once, but I have reused it 5 times. So in this way, you can write a long piece of code and you can reuse it so many times. This is the power of a component. This is the power of React. You see how interesting and how simple is it to create a React application. I hope you got this video. Okay, this is what we are going to stop today. Okay, we are not going to go into much deeper into creating this component. We are going to create a lot of components, a lot of new projects. Okay, we are going to start the whole to-do list. Our first basically a motive, what we are going to create, a bigger application. So we are going to see all of that. We are going to see some different applications as well. It's not that we are going to stick with to-do list. We are going to see a lot of applications into our upcoming videos, so that we have like REST APIs, we have so many other interesting things that we are going to see. But let's stop our video for now, okay? And I hope you like this video. I hope it was interesting. I hope I tried to make it as simple as possible. And if you like this video, please give us a like and just share your thoughts into the comment section. Please keep subscribing and have fun learning.